All right, here are my 5 takeaways from the NFL's Week 16. First up, the Baltimore Ravens absolutely falling apart on Sunday Night Football. They had things in control, a chance to basically stay alive realistically in the playoff race, and then to not use Derrick Henry on that last drive to try to put things away. Very difficult to understand what they were doing. I'm not a big fire Harbaugh guy, but he certainly isn't helping my case any because that was just a very questionable decision to not go with the only thing that has really been working for you in that game, even with Huntley coming up with a few bigger plays on the drive that kind of gave them that opportunity to win this football game. But overall, a very poor decision to not go with Derrick Henry in that spot. And then the defense just, again, could not get the stop when they needed to. And that has been a big thing for this team all season long. And it was huge and a huge disappointment in week 16 for this group. And now you look at it, we're probably looking at a postseason without Lamar Jackson, without Patrick Mahomes, a very, very difficult night for the Baltimore Ravens to get. And just a reminder that there is such a thing as falling too far behind in the NFL. I think we thought with Buffalo a couple of years ago with that 6-game win streak to close out the season, with some of the miraculous plays that Kansas City has had in the past to get them kind of caught up. We're now seeing that eventually there is a point where you're just too far back. My second point is a really, really good win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the end part of it is very strange. And the referee getting his WWE on with the, well, we ruled it a touchdown. However, with a weird, like, dusty finish at the end of this game, that obviously kind of muddies it a little bit. And while the Steelers have had a lot of very weird wins this year, and I am not one to give the Steelers credit, you do have to give them credit for how well they played in this game to put themselves in a position to win a very, very strange one. And for the Lions, again, the defense needed to be better. This is a really, really tough loss for them to allow this Pittsburgh team to control the football the way they did. You just can't have that happen when you are, again, battling for your playoff lives. Number 3, Jacksonville, an absolute statement. I gave them a bit more credit after the Kansas City win than most people did. It was a weird one again, but still, Trevor Lawrence came up with enough big plays after stumbling and bumbling a couple of times to still go out and get the job done. This one, he looked excellent. This might have been the best game that he played against a really, really good Denver Broncos defense. And then, speaking of defenses, Jacksonville's defense, bit of an underrated unit in the NFL, comes up with a monster game to really slow down what Denver was trying to do. Just a complete team effort and a complete statement win for a team that not many people were taking seriously. At number 4, statement for the Los Angeles Chargers. I get it against Dallas, and everyone scores against Dallas, but we've seen some lower scoring games from the Chargers this season. This obviously wasn't one of them. Some concerns about what this offense could be with Herbert dealing with an injury with a non-throwing hand. No concerns anymore. This Chargers team, again, has the capabilities of being one of the most complete in the NFL with a very well coached, very good defense and so many weapons on the offensive side. If they can just protect Justin Herbert enough, this team is really, really dangerous going into the postseason. It's just that's a really big if, obviously, but here they reminded everyone how good they could be in the NFL. And number 5, I guess the Panthers are legit. That defense came to play on Sunday in a big time way. And that is the unit that doesn't get enough credit on this Carolina team. Bryce Young has had a lot of the criticism over the past couple of years, but in fantasy, we've looked at Carolina's defense as one that you can really put up some points against. This was not that time. I thought this defense, obviously, they come up with a big play late in the game on the miscommunication with Baker and Mike Evans, but a lot of good stops and a lot of good plays as this went along. And then Bryce Young making some excellent throws. Ted McMillan, another strong game for him. Rico Dowdle, very good in the run game, and just gashing up this Bucs team. The other side of it is, again, a really difficult loss for Tampa Bay. Now, they're still in it. These two teams do play again week 18 and have vastly different matchups coming up in week 17. But this was a really tough loss for them. Baker had a lot of really, really good moments in this game, just simply not enough of them to offset some of the tougher plays. And then the defense, this run defense is supposed to be a strength, and they kind of got run all over on by both Chuba and Rico at various different points. So it just feels like this whole team is really limping down to the finish line. What else stood out to you? What was your guys' big takeaway from week 16 in the NFL? Let me know in the comments.